Stranger Things Season 3 is over, and with it there are so many Easter eggs and references, whether it be 80s culture, more 80s pop culture references, and more 80s pop culture references. So many.
Exhaustive list.
Just an exhaustive list that we've got ready for you.
But before we get into it, subscribe to GameSpot Universe for more videos about all the stuff you love, including Stranger Things. Let's start with some general kind of 80s pop culture references, and we're going to be consulting our notes throughout this video.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm sorry I didn't memorize this list of fucking 150 Easter eggs.
I think there's just 30 in episode 1 alone.
So many. That was like the majority of my, like it took me 4 hours to watch the first episode of season 3 of Stranger Things because I was writing down Easter eggs. Anyway, I want to call out Hopper's general love of Magnum PI and Tom Selleck because it's definitely the look that he has going on. And when he has like his assistant from the police station buy him that shirt.
Right, for the date.
It's so good. But then he's watching Magnum PI in the first episode. And also I forget who, but somebody calls him Magnum later.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I missed
so
that.
it's like a running joke. And it's just like, I'm not crazy about all the ways they changed his character, but at least they acknowledged it and like, they made it into like a pretty good gag.
For me, that's just the fact that they Back to the Future at all. I mean, it was like constant. It was the constant joke. They were making references. Like, obviously, when they were watching Back to the Future, there's the poster before they saw the movie, and then the whole thing about banging your mom constantly being there.
Much later, because that was extremely good. Yeah, and the fact that they kept calling him Alex P. Keaton.
Alex P. Keaton, sophomore hospitality committee.
Who was Michael J. Fox's character in the show Family Ties. It's just like, it's all like, of course they don't really know who Michael J. Fox is. They're just like, oh, that dude from Family Ties.
Yeah, so, it's clever too, because that's exactly how we talk about movies today. Yeah. And like, you know, for us, because of Back to the Future, he's Michael J. Fox.
Right.
But yeah, like, it's just like, when The Rock was first on in movies, no one thought of him as Dwayne Johnson. It was always like, oh, The Rock's in this
He's just The Rock. He's his wrestling character.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's still The Rock, but.
And also Robert Downey Jr. is now Iron Man forever. Like anytime he's ever in another movie, or like Pierce Brosnan is always just James Bond.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, James Bond is in this.
It's funny. Yeah. Even at this point, even after more James Bonds have happened, it's still Pierce Brosnan when you say, oh, it's James Bond.
There's a ton of general kind of movies references all over the place in this season, obviously. If we just look at the posters of movies that we see around, there is a Cocoon poster, which was also out that year. Like, all of this stuff is also very pointed. Like, it's all time appropriate to 1985. My favorite is at the Wheelers, there's a The Thing poster.
Yeah,
which, like,
such a good movie.
Yeah, but that movie was despised when it came out.
I know.
That movie was critically panned, and so the fact that our boys in Hawkins appreciate the craft of John Carpenter's The Thing is like...
Except for, it's always one of those things though where it's like, you know that it's really just the guys who made the film like the movie. The Duffer Brothers were just like, The Thing is great, we had to put a poster here.
But it's a character detail, like it becomes part of the universe. Like obviously the
Duffer
Duffer
Brothers.
Good taste. Obviously the Duffer Brothers know what's up when it comes to The Thing.
Right.
Because, I mean, did you see the monster
Dude,
this season?
the hands, the things that were moving were so out of the Thing.
It's extremely good.
Yeah. So actually, I guess that's a reference too. The Thing was referenced by the creatures like moving around.
I mean, it's
and
like clearly heavily inspired by, and obviously it's CG now, which will never be as good as the practical effects of The Thing.
Those were
but
so good.
We digress.
So also, outside of Back to the Future, they also watched Day of the Dead. That was what they were watching, which has the mall scene. Day of the Dead is the mall one, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I've never seen Day of the Dead.
So I think Day of the Dead, no, it's not.
Dawn of the Dead.
So they were watching Day of the Dead outside Back to the Future, and Day of the Dead outside being an extremely classic movie when it came out. Dawn of the Dead, the sequel, is zombies in a mall, so like referencing the whole mall culture and everything. So in a way, I find that to be maybe what they were trying to do with Day of the Dead being what they were watching.
I have something to add.
I guess also just the fact that zombies and a lot of zombie stuff with like the Billy and everybody.
I think it's the zombie tie-in with like the people turning into these mindless husks all around town. However, I have something to add to that, which is that Day of the Dead did not come out in 1985 until July 19. And no, hang on, hold that gasp, because this movie is obviously set in the lead up to July 4,
Right.
meaning at this point it's probably the end of June. I think like 4 or 5 days passed in the season, so whatever. However, they say in the show that it's a sneak preview of Day of the Dead.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't catch that.
Duffer Brothers thought of everything. They wanted to have their Day of the Dead symbolism.
They just wanted to have it all. They wanted to have their cake and eat it too.
I think it works.
Oh yeah, the feature presentation animation. At
Oh
the
my god,
front.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
See, Lucas, we made it. We missed the previews.
Still made it. Fart face.
Because if you go to the movie theater, the Vista in Silver Lake by my old house, they play that.
See, I never had that. I didn't even know what it
still.
was.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then they do the like, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Do you know that one?
I don't. I didn't get it.
Damn it.
I mean, like when I was a kid growing up, there was nothing. No theater had that. And then I guess I haven't been to the movie theater in Silver Lake. So.
It's just like a retro. It's like a nostalgia
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, that was a real thing. I loved all of the Phoebe Cates references. When Dustin says his girlfriend is hotter than Phoebe Cates, and nobody believes him. Phoebe Cates obviously is from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and then at the end of the season, when Steve and Robin are applying for the job at the video store, he like
yeah.
there's like the
The-
Fast
the
Times
stand-up,
the
yeah,
cardboard cutout,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
But then also one of the things that Dustin invented at Camp Nowhere was like an electronic hammer.
Yeah.
Similar to the one that the dad in Gremlins invents, and guess who was also in Gremlins?
Would it
Phoebe
be Phoebe Cates?
That's right.
All right.
It all goes like this because it's the
Cool.
80s.
Yeah. Dustin calls his ham radio Cerebro, which
Mm-hmm.
is a nod to X-Men leader Charles Xavier's device. He uses to amplify his mental powers.
Yeah.
And yeah, he still uses it. I mean, that's the name of the device since whenever. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I thought that was really cute. I call it Cerebro or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, Dustin, you f***ing nerd.
Just a little bit.
I loved it.
And then for me, being a huge gamer, just the fact that they even referenced Atari was pretty cool. Because when Max and L were spying on Lucas and Mike, they're like, oh, he's probably playing Atari.
I guarantee you
Yeah.
they're playing Atari right now.
I guarantee you, him and Lucas are playing Atari right now.
Probably.
Yeah, I had to. When they said that, I googled when Atari came out. I feel like I'm the Duffer Brothers fact checker. So I was like, when did Atari come out?
Oh, I did like a huge video on Atari in the
Mm-hmm.
past, so like just having that reference was cool. It actually makes me wonder which Atari they were playing. It was probably the 2600 because nobody really bought a 5200.
Personally, I was like, it's 1985. Couldn't they be playing an NES at this
Technically,
point?
they could,
Yeah.
but like 85, it wasn't popular. No one. It was only just starting to get known. And it was mainly in New York City. So like
This guy.
yeah, I know my games. But yeah, they could have been playing an NES, but Atari was much more likely.
It would have been funny if they were like, he's playing Nintendo. What the f is that?
Like, oh my God,
That would have
Ooh.
been good. Okay, let's move on to our favorite setting for this season. I think you and I agree
Yes.
on this, which is Starcourt Mall.
Starcourt Mall.
It's so good.
Which has some of the best 80s references in the whole series, and they're just like, there's so many, like, you know, I personally spent a long time just like freeze framing every shot in that mall,
Yeah.
looking for stuff in the background. One thing I want to call out personally is hot dog on a stick, because I used to go to the hot dog on a stick at the mall. I was a youngin'.
Yep.
And they sell this thing called cheese on a stick.
Yeah.
Where it's literally just a block of cheese that they deep fry and they bread and deep fry. And it's
so healthy.
so gross. But you just put mustard on it and just chomp on this like breaded deep fried cheese.
Yeah, we never had one by me, so I thought it was a fake restaurant just like Scoops Ahoy, which Scoops Ahoy is clearly Baskin Robbins. Like, it's got to be Baskin
Well,
Robbins.
they took a Baskin Robbins and they transformed it into a Scoops
did they?
Ahoy
Okay.
for a promotion in
Yeah.
real life. So,
But I love Baskin Robbins. That was my jam when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I'd go
me too.
biking at Baskin Robbins. Sam Goody for me was my favorite one. Just
Yes.
because, yeah. Like, when I was a kid, you couldn't buy anime anywhere except for Sam Goody. That was the only place I could go to buy anime.
it's revealing a lot about Dave.
Yeah, there it is. Well, so there's a lot to unpack from
I
that
used to
sentence.
go to Sam Goody and buy music, CDs, and DVDs like a cool guy.
It used to cost $30 for 3 episodes of an anime. So, like, I'd save up all my money to buy
Well-
3 episodes of something.
Look at you now, money well spent.
Yep.
Orange Julius.
Actually, I didn't know that one either. That one wasn't by me.
You didn't know Orange Julius?
Yeah, there wasn't one.
Oh my God.
I had a bad mall.
I'll let hot dog on a stick
Wait, where did you
slide.
grow up?
Here.
Okay, maybe. Well, I'm from like a suburb of Chicago, so maybe we didn't get
That's
all
closer
this.
to Indiana.
It is.
Oh my God. Everybody knows Orange Julius. I let hot dog on a stick slide, but everyone knows what Orange Julius is, Dave.
I know all the other ones. That's the only other one I didn't
You're
know.
driving me crazy with this.
Like The Gap, obviously, who wouldn't know The Gap?
Do you
That's
wanna
not
know-
fair.
do you
Radio
wanna-
Shack, I used to go to
th-
Radio
there's
Shack.
a J.C. Penney in there.
Yeah, J.C. Penney.
Do you want to know a fun fact about hot dog on a stick?
Do I? They sell cheese on a block.
Yeah, no, I said that already.
I know.
It's cheese on a stick. It's a block of cheese. Let's not get confused. Let's not confuse the viewers about Hot Dog on a Stick, my favorite restaurant. But what I was going to say is that their uniforms are like exactly the same still. Like the
Really?
goofy ass like candy stripers with the red and yellow
Oh,
and the blue. Like
I would hate to work there.
I know. Oh my god, it's almost as bad as Stephen Robbins' stupid ass.
I love that the whole
sailor
movie they were in
uniform.
that outfit.
Yeah, they wear those the entire season until the last scene where they're at the video store.
Yeah.
Which is like wild.
is-
It's a crazy choice. The last thing at the mall, Dave.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm gonna say? It's highly relevant to our lives today, and I don't even know if I wrote it down, but I just remembered it.
No. What are you going to say?
Taco Bell.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. So when I used to go to the mall as a mall rat, Taco Bell was what I got every single time. for my
Yeah.
food. Yeah.
Well, there is not a Taco Bell in the Starcourt Mall, but there soon would have been if they didn't blow Starcourt Mall up by
Oh.
the end of it.
That's so great.
Yeah, Taco
I'm
Bell
sad I missed that.
coming soon.
Taco
It's
Bell's
not.
so good.
There is not a huge focus on it.
We are not endorsed by Taco Bell, by the way.
I just love Taco
yeah,
Bell.
I just love Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They should pay us. So there's some Stranger Things references too. I mean, like these are. I think like the Bob Newby superhero is a pretty obvious one, but
Yeah, like references
right.
to Stranger Things itself,
Yeah.
like to previous seasons.
But a
Yeah,
more
yeah.
fun one is the Farrah hair. So Farrah Fawcett
Yeah.
actually had her own hairline. That's true, but it was a reference to the fact that Dustin's the one who's using it because.
Right, Dustin sprays Lucas in the face
Yeah.
with the Farrah Fawcett hair stuff.
But that's specifically because Steve is the one who recommended to
Mm-hmm.
him, like, bro, you got to get some of this hairspray.
Yeah.
Like that's what you got to get.
When they're walking down the train tracks in season 2, is that what
Yeah,
scene
that's
that
from
was?
season 2. Yeah.
It's Fabergé Organics. Use the shampoo and the conditioner, and when your hair is damp, it's not wet, okay? When it's damp, you do 4 puffs of the Farrah Fawcett spray.
So
stuff.
yeah, that was like a nice callback.
Any reference back to Steve and Dustin's bromance is fine by me.
Just a million music references. I mean, I don't know how much of them are worth listing out.
Yeah, we're
Maybe
not gonna-
what was your favorite one?
We're not going to get into all of the music
Yeah.
references, but let's talk about our favorite ones for sure.
I like the high-speed My Sharona, just because I like the song My Sharona. They were playing it really fast. I don't know why.
Dog, I'm about to blow your fucking mind again. This is
Oh.
Orange Julius levels of
Is it a
me
different type of song? Is it not My
educating
Sharona?
You. No, dog. This is the Weird Al cover of My Sharona.
Oh, it was My Bologna.
It was My Bologna.
Oh my God, that's
It was
why.
My Bologna.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
so excited when that, because it's Mr. Clark,
Yeah.
who is like the science teacher that none of us had, but we
Right,
all
yeah.
wish that we had because maybe our lives would have turned out differently. We would
So
become
great.
We would
He's a good
become
character.
engineers or like
Yeah.
better paying careers or something. But no, we didn't have a Mr. Clark. Those boys have a Mr. Clark, and he rules. And Joyce goes and sees him, and it's like the most epic, like when the garage door opens up, my Bologna.
That was such a great scene too.
I love Weird
When-
Al. I love Weird
Yeah.
Al. And so anytime I hear that song, I start singing My Bologna first in my head.
Yeah.
And then I have to remind myself, nope, it's My Sharona. My Bologna is a fake song.
Like, I think
and this time I was like, it is My Bologna. It was the best.
There's other Weird Al songs that pop up for me first, but it was My Sharona. I guess since I listen to My Sharona a lot, just for whatever reason, I like that song a lot. It's kind of a creepy song though when you listen to the lyrics. It's
My
really weird
Bologna
song.
isn't a creepy song.
Right,
It's a song
so I'll have
about
to
how
switch
much
it
he
up.
loves Bologna.
I like Huey Lewis in general, and it's so 80s.
There's that Huey Lewis
Yeah.
song in there. I love that.
Huey
I
Lewis
love
is
Huey
so good,
Lewis.
yeah.
I'm a Huey Lewis dork. That scene when Jim in episode 2 when Jim is like, what's up 11? Like, oh, Mike's not coming over. And
Yeah.
then the very next scene he's like in the car and he's just like rocking out to You Don't Mess Around with Jim.
That's
like
good.
I thought that was excellent.
Oh, the montage scene with Material Girl.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. I loved that scene. It was super fun. However, not as fun as the Neverending Story
yeah.
sing
yeah.
along
That was fantastic.
in the last episode. It was so good. Like, especially because you're like, okay, Susie's definitely fake, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she turned out to be real, which I guess we should have predicted because it's way too sad for them to keep that going for that long and for her to be fake. But
I guess since I thought he was going to end up with the other girl, with Lucas's sister, I was like, oh, I guess that's where the story is going. So that's why
It's weird.
it just surprised me.
Weird.
Yeah, and then let's
Oh,
go.
lastly, hang on.
Yeah.
Lastly, the extremely weird Peter Gabriel cover of Heroes by David Bowie, which I was like, I had to Shazam it because I was like, who the hell has done this to this great song? I guess I'm not a Peter Gabriel fan. I just found out.
Now you know. Or anyone who does a cover of David Bowie. Can't touch this.
Some of them are good. That was Did you just do a Michael Jackson thing to a David Bowie?
No, Can't Touch This that's not Michael Jackson. That's the guy who wears the parachute pants. MC Hammer.
Can't touch this.
General 80s shit. Let's talk
Jesus.
about it.
Okay, all of Dustin's toys in the first episode.
Yeah.
These were great. These included R2-D2, Ultra Magnus from Transformers, that the Symbol Monkey
Yeah.
that we glimpsed.
It's in Toy Story 3 too.
It's in Toy
There's
Story
little
3.
monkeys everywhere.
Yeah, but also Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah, right. Isn't that too? It's just
Very
a creepy
scary.
monkey.
Yeah, it's a creepy monkey.
For me, I am obsessed with Coca-Cola.
Can you
in
explain
general.
this to me?
The fact that I'm obsessed with Coke?
Yeah.
Diet Coke, the moment it hits your lips, you're like, oh,
I don't
so good.
understand that. I know people who are like obsessed with Coke, and I don't. It's just a sugary drink. I don't.
Well, I
understand
drink
it.
Diet Coke, and it tastes way better.
Give me a break.
It's amazing, but they kept on referencing New Coke the entire time, and
It's
like
a
all
funny
these new Coke
gag.
things, right? It's a funny gag, and also just someone who loves Coke the way I do. I appreciate it.
I'll never understand.
I love Coke. Oh yeah, New Coke was actually like that was a big thing at the time too, because it was like they were like, oh, it doesn't taste like the old Coke. This is our old formula back again. So it was actually
Right,
a
and
big thing.
they brought it back, right?
Right, yeah, I do,
Yeah.
and it still sucks. Diet Coke is way better.
Well,
But it's
not
funny to
not
me.
according to Lucas.
Sweeter, bolder, better.
Yeah.
The cereal at the supermarket, there was some
Yes!
choice. We spotted some choice things in there.
Oh my God.
Like the Mr. T cereal.
was so good.
Back when everything. I don't know if this is still the case because I just eat like boring old people like brand cereal now. But like at one point there was like a sugary cereal for every fucking tie-in imaginable.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Me too. Flintstones cereal.
There's still Flintstone
Batman
cereals. That's
cereal.
yeah, Batman doesn't exist anymore. Actually, I still go to the store, and if I see a new cereal I haven't seen before, I'll buy it to this day. There's a Mario cereal
That's a
recently
fun
from Mario
fact
Odyssey.
that's a fun fact about Dave. I'm glad we did this video so I could learn that about you.
Yeah, I love cereal.
Really
It feels
cute.
great.
That's a little cute little detail. I like it.
Yeah. Daytime. Mrs. Wheeler is reading Johanna
Yeah.
Lindsay's "Tender Is the Story."
So as excited
Johanna.
as excited as I got about the Weird Al reference, my wife was this excited about Mrs. Wheeler reading this.
Oh, was she? Was she really
1982
excited about it?
romance- Yeah, because she was like her mom used to read that book.
Oh, no way.
Used to read Johanna Lindsay books. I have to keep looking. Never heard of this person.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Used to read these romance novels all the time, and of course, she used to also. Read
how
them.
weird would it
Sneak
be?
away her mom's romance.
I was gonna say,
books.
how weird would it be to read it and knowing that your mom read it? I feel like that'd be kind of.
I feel like it would be weird. Maybe it's like when your dad gave you Playboys.
Yeah.
It's like, here, son,
Yeah, you're like,
you're a man now. That happened to you?
my dad didn't give me anything like
No,
that.
just me.
The internet existed at that point.
That's true. Yeah, we are. Let's
Yeah.
not get into it.
Newspaper asshole calling Nancy Drew.
But I think I've got something even spicier. It's about the missing mustard on my hamburger. You think you can follow the clues and solve the case of the missing condiment, Nancy Drew?
The newspaper assholes is that your just collective name for all of the everyone. in
Every
her
single
paper?
one was like you don't
they
need
were
to,
all huge assholes,
Like Jake
yeah.
Busey, newspaper asshole.
Jake
the-
Busey, massive asshole. Yeah, calling her Nancy Drew.
Yeah,
It's
just
cute.
Nancy Drew.
Well,
Yeah,
because her name is Nancy.
right. I mean, it makes sense. And then she was doing the investigative thing. I mean, granted, like,
Right.
that's not specifically an '80s reference.
Well,
but it
should
was
we
still-
explain what Nancy Drew is for the young kids out there? Nancy Drew was some young adult, before that was a term, detective novels featuring a female detective named Nancy Drew, who's
Yeah.
a teenager.
And it's like it's so irrelevant to people now. I feel like I don't think kids today would use it, but like
I don't know. When I was
still
when
get the reference.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I read every Hardy Boys book.
Yeah.
And they were like Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys adventures where they solved crimes together. So
I mean, I knew the Hardy Boys and I knew Nancy Drew. I just didn't specifically read them, but I get the reference.
right. I think even for the newspaper assholes, it's like a weird, outdated reference. Like
Yeah, it is still outdated
it's like
in a way.
it's like weird and old timey for them to be calling her Nancy Drew as if that's clever because they're assholes.
Yeah.
So that checks out.
So, That's a lot of references. That's not all of them, but those are some of our favorite ones. Let us know what your favorite references were in the comments below, any that you thought we missed, and what brought you the most joy.
Well, let's not invite the ones that we missed part, because we missed a lot. This was not comprehensive.
This was just our favorite ones.
I don't condone what he just said, but tell us instead what your favorite Easter eggs and whatnot in Stranger Things Season 3 were. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Later.